This weekend, the new Netflix movie Otherhood was released, and today I'm here to tell you my take on it. Hi, my name is Andy Funke, and I started this channel because I like sharing my take on the things that I watch. If you also love talking about movies, consider subscribing down below so that you don't miss any of my future content. Also, before I give you my take on the movie, go ahead and comment down below what you thought of the movie. And with that said, let's get started. On Mother's Day, three mothers with clearly strained relationships with their sons go and visit their sons to try and restore those relationships. And the fun thing about this movie is that you have three fun leads in Felicity Huffman, Patricia Arquette, and Angela Bassett. You totally buy these three leads as friends. You buy them as three mothers. And it's interesting to see them go back into their sons' lives and to learn about these three different storylines about three mother-son pairs, and to find out what happened in each situation. It's fun to kind of get to explore these three separate storylines and kind of get both sides of the story of why it might have been strained on the son's side or why it may have been strained on the mother's side. And you know, the setup for this movie, it wasn't necessarily leading itself to be a great movie, a super exciting or impactful movie, but it was setting itself up to be a fun movie, one that you can sit back and enjoy, one that would easily land in my 60s in a comfortably positive score on my score range. And had it had a great second half to follow up the setup, it could have even been bumped up to my 70s. But instead, it had a second half that just fell completely flat for me. There's a scene in the middle of the movie with all six of our characters, all three mothers and all three sons, and from that point forward, everything just felt very wrapped up in a forced or unearned or overly convenient way. In some ways, it feels like the relationships between the characters started here. The movie explored them to push them here, but then it just wrapped up here. It feels like there was this notable gap between where the story pushed the storylines and where they conveniently ended. The story with Angela Bassett's character and her son was supposed to wrap up in a way that's seen as sweet, but it actually kind of wrapped up in a way that felt a little bit underwhelming and didn't really disprove part of the problem. Another one of the storylines with one of the other sons wrapped up in a way that was overly convenient and didn't even make that much sense. And the biggest thing is it didn't feel like much was actually redeemed throughout the movie. It didn't feel like these characters necessarily grew or changed the things that made the relationship strained in the first place. It kind of feels like they ended the same characters that they were at the beginning, but just with stuff magically fixed at the end. Overall, this movie certainly wasn't the worst thing I've seen, but it did have a fairly underwhelming second half that kind of ruined what I enjoyed about the first half, but I'm still gonna go with a 40% on this movie. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Thank you for tuning in to this video and supporting my channel.